Hello, my name is Scott Daigle, and I am the Public Policy Director for the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities. And this is a short video tutorial on the Texas Legislature Online's bill search functions. Let me quickly share my screen and take us to that website. And you can see here, it is capital.texas.gov. Again, that's capital.texas.gov. I did a previous video that gave a short overview of the various informational features that are available on this site. So that was something that I did previously, but today I want to focus on this drop-down right here and specifically the bill search tab on the page. So let's click on that right here, and it takes us to this page. We're going to be focusing on bills specifically related to the 88th regular session, which is set to convene on January 10th of 2023. You can see that in this drop down right here. But pre-filing for that session has already started. That began on Monday, November 14th. And if we click on this search button right here, we can see that there are over 1,100 bills that have already been filed for the upcoming session. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. But if you hit this drop down, you can see that you can also search for bills from previous sessions. We could go back and search for bills from the 87th regular session, which took place in 2021. Or search for bills for any of the 3 special sessions that also took place in 2021. And each one of those sessions has its own set of bills that were filed. You could also scroll down and go back using this site at least to search for bills as far back as the 71st regular session, which took place in 1989. We won't be doing that today. Moving across the screen, you can see that there are search functions for bill chamber. So you can search for bills in just the Texas House or just the Texas Senate, or bills that were filed, like all of the bills that were filed in the House and Senate. There are also different bill types. The ones that we're going to be focusing on are this B right here, which is bill, and that's House bills or Senate bills. Those are the proposals that are most directly going to create new laws in Texas or amend laws that are already in place. And then this JR, which stands for joint resolution, and those deal specifically with constitutional amendments. So moving over here, you can search by bill author or bill sponsor. Now, a bill author is a member who has filed a bill in their particular chamber. So a House member is the author of a bill that was filed in the House, or the senator is the author of a bill filed in the Senate. But a sponsor of a bill is the member that is carrying a piece of legislation in the chamber that it was not filed. So a House member would be the sponsor of a bill filed in the Senate, and a senator would be the sponsor of a bill filed in the House, if you're keeping track of that. Sorry, it's confusing. But if you hit this drop down right here, you can see the list of all 150 members of the Texas House, scrolling down. And then if you go far enough, you will see the 31 members of the Texas Senate. And we can go and search for bills that were filed by those individual members. So the first name on our list is going to be Representative Alma Allen. And we click on her name, and it puts it in the selected criteria right there. We go and hit search, and we find that Representative Allen has filed 10 bills so far for the upcoming session. Okay, I'm sure that she's going to file a lot more than that, but those are the ones that she's gotten to so far. So let's go back. And again, we can do that with any of the members of the House or Senate. We will remove Representative Allen from the selection criteria so it doesn't mess up any other things that we're working on here. Another way that you can search for bills on this page is by selecting subject criteria. So if you click on this button, it will pull up a page that lists, and let me shift over to it, that pop-up page that lists a whole bunch of subjects that may or may not occur in bills filed for the legislative session. So there are, numerous topics that are listed here. I am going to focus on one, let's say disabilities, and it pulls up disabilities persons with. So I hit that and I click this arrow and it moves that topic over to the selected criteria for our search. Now you can search using multiple criteria. So if we wanted to look for bills that covered persons with disabilities, but also covered, say, education, we could click, type in a couple of words, pull up education, and there were a bunch of different education categories that we could combine so that we're kind of limiting or really drilling down on our search. We won't do that right now. Right now, we're just going to search for persons with disabilities, hit OK. That closes that pop-up window. So I'll go back to the main screen and share that now. And so now you see that disabilities persons with is included in the selected criteria over here on the left. And then we go over to the right and hit search, and let's see what it pulls up. 39 matches is what we have so far of bills relating to persons with disabilities that have been filed in this upcoming legislative session. That number is probably higher. They may have more bills that somehow touch on people with disabilities, but it may not be like an overt purpose of the bill necessarily. So right now we're looking at these 39 bills covering a whole bunch of topics. We've got accommodating voters with a disability. We've got a bill relating to community attendance under the Community Attendance Services Program. Here's another bill relating to the appointment of an educational representative for certain students with disabilities. So we've got a lot of different items here that we could be looking at. And I will tell you that in a future video, I will provide information on how to track individual bills or create bill lists. But that's a topic for a future video. I will quickly say before we jump out of here that you can also search for bills based on specific committee. But since the legislative session hasn't started yet, committees haven't been appointed. So they don't have any committees that we can search by formally right now. You can also search by action so that if you were, and this is probably something for past legislative sessions you would use this tool with, but if you were trying to search for bills that passed into law or bills that were vetoed by the governor or something like that, you would use this action criteria and try and search using that. But that is it for the bill search functions of Texas Legislature Online. I hope you find this helpful. As I mentioned, I will be back with another video in the future to talk about some other features of the site. But I hope you have fun jumping around and searching for some bills. Again, my name is Scott Daigle. I'm the Public Policy Director for the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities, and thanks for tuning in.